Hey everybody, good morning. So today, let's talk about one of the most demonized things in the grooming industry, which are conditioners. Now, I don't know if maybe somewhere along the lines a conditioner murdered a groomer at some point and that's why we have this resentment. I don't know. This seems to be a pretty personal thing between groomers and conditioners, and I don't get it. So maybe somebody could explain to me what the issue is, but I'm going to explain to you right now why conditioners are your friend. Again, I don't know what the issue is per se about conditioners, but let's talk about conditioning myths. So, let's start with, what does a conditioner do? Why do you even need it? So when we're shampooing, we are removing all of the hair's natural sebum. Especially with a lot of these shampoos that we're using, we like these clarifyings, these harsher cleansers, anything that's a deep cleaning, all of those. They're going to take out all of that sebum in the hair. And you're like, great, done, right? We don't want any sebum in the hair. Well, if we didn't want sebum in the hair, why does the hair make sebum? Because we do want sebum in the hair because it needs it. So let's start with, I love to use Yorkies as an example with conditioners because most people would be like, you would never condition a Yorkie. You strip all that all the oil out and then you just go on your merry little way. No, you don't. So if you are stripping all those oils out, that basically, so let's go back to, why is the skin making those oils? So the skin, if it's making a ton of oil, then it thinks that skin and hair is really dry. So if you go in with your super cleansing shampoo, your deep cleaning, your clarifying, whatever, you take out all that oil and just leave it like that, then now the dog's skin and hair is like, holy shit, I just made all of this sebum and it's gone. I must not have made enough. I better make some more. So that's why you'll have these dogs that every time they come in, they're somehow greasier than the last time, even though you really did your best to get all that grease out of their hair. And basically you're causing the problem by not conditioning. So there are very simple solutions to that. So a Yorkie, for example, you could do your deep cleaning shampoo, finish up with a moisturizing shampoo. Just a little something to put that back in. That's another thing that I've noticed is if you say conditioner, you might as well just be smother it in mayonnaise, cover it in mayonnaise. No, when I'm talking about a conditioner, it could be a moisturizing shampoo. It could just be a light leave-in conditioner. I'm not saying you have to put a heavy conditioner on every dog. No. Sometimes I just need a light conditioner, just a little something. Another example is a bodybuilder conditioner, which is so if you find a volumizing conditioner, that is a bodybuilding conditioner. And they are required. I have my hair school book right here. I get a lot of questions. I kind of hate showing this book, even though it's my favorite reference, because you cannot buy this book. This is what the cover looks like. I always get asked what the cover looks like. The only way to get a book like this is to go to hair school and finish hair school and graduate. You can't even get one of these if you just go for a semester. You have to actually graduate. So I always refer to this book when we're talking about cosmetology related things, so that's why I am pulling this book, but I am on the hunt to find other books that you guys could also access so that you don't have to rely on me and my hair school book. But I am going to read what a bodybuilding conditioner is out of my hair school book. So, bodybuilding conditioners are required when the hair is fine and limp and contains too much moisture to maintain a good style. The formula, with protein, will penetrate into the damaged hair shaft and deposit proteins into the cortex. The proteins displace the excess moisture, providing more body to the hair. So you hear that? So these volumizing conditioners, they replace the moisture with protein, so there's still something there, but it's taking out that moisture. So this modifies the delicate moisture-protein balance and makes the hair more manageable and able to hold a style for a longer period. So that's, like I said, Yorkies are such a good example. Sorry, that's my alarm. So Yorkies are such a good example because they are like always the one that comes to mind when I think of limp hair. They just like poor little Yorkies. They have some terrible hair. We all know it. Individual strands on a Yorkie's hair. This is something, oh, this is such a good topic of talking about, like, because like saying a dog's hair is like thick or thin, like it's kind of like so you can have the density of like how many squares per or how many hairs per square inch, and then there's also how thick is each individual hair strand. So Yorkie, they don't have much density, so they don't have a lot of hair over their body, and then also their individual hair strands are very fine. So that's why they're always the one that comes to mind whenever we're talking about conditioners, because Yorkies would be like the number one that you would think, oh, you would never condition. But they're also the ones that are the greasiest. So their skin highly disagrees with you that they don't need conditioning. Like, they're producing shitloads of oil. So their skin highly disagrees with you that it doesn't need moisture. Their skin is like, bitch, we are dry as fuck over here. So, like I said, you can combat that by just simply adding a light conditioner. And like I said, it does not have to be a full-on, like, heavy humectant, like, and that's another thing. So a common misconception is that conditioners make the hair take longer to dry. Scientifically speaking, that is not true. So typically, as we mentioned, I believe I mentioned in this video, but just in case I didn't, most shampoos are going to be more alkaline on the pH scale. So when you're talking about conditioners, they're going to be a little bit more acidic. And basically, the alkaline is going to blow the cuticle open. So real quick, what's the cuticle? You're like, what? Cuticle? Like, no. So cuticle is the outside layer of your hair. That's the little outside. It kind of looks like a little pine cone. There's like little, what do you call them? Like a little, what, the little teeth? Like, this is like really clearing it up. So anyway, it looks like a little pine cone. So your cuticle, when you're shampooing, it blows it open. So it looks like this. You know what? Oh, why am I doing that? Look. Bam, that's a cuticle right there. You see the little ridges? So when you're shampooing, you're opening that up. And when you're conditioning, you're closing it back. Now, when you're drying, you also want to close that cuticle back down. You don't want it wide open while you're drying because you can damage the cuticle and actually break pieces off, which leaves your hair a lot more susceptible to breaking. So you open that cuticle up with the shampoo, so logic says that the conditioner, which is going to be more acidic, is going to help to close that cuticle back down. So that being said, when it's closing the cuticle down, it's going to start pushing out some water. It's going to start drying for you. And then when you go in with your blow dryer, you just help to seal that cuticle down. So now it's all nice and silky and smooth, and that's why they feel so amazing when we're done, when we condition properly. If you, after you're blow dried, if you're finding that you're having frizzies, the hair is like standing up like weird and like that has split ends and looks like crap, you may not have conditioned properly. I mean, I've even had Yorkies that, because again, Yorkies are the ones that come to mind when I think split ends. They're one of the only breeds I see that like truly has split ends. If I use like a good leave-in conditioner, and I do always get asked about products, so if you're curious of what I use, currently my favorite have been the iGroom leave-ins. I use the red bottle, which is the magic scissor spray, and I also use the orange bottle, which is the magic detangler. And I really like those two together. The scissor spray almost works more like kind of almost like a hairspray. It gives it like the hair a little bit of stand. It does help with scissoring, and then the detangler leaves them feeling really nice and soft and moisturized. So it's a really good way to implement a conditioner without using a true conditioner. So when I talk about conditioners, again, I'm not saying a full-on conditioner. Like, I would say I use a full-on conditioner almost never. Like, only if that hair is so dry that it just really needs some more, then yeah, I'll use like a full-on conditioner. But 9 times out of 10, I use a really good moisturizing shampoo and finish up with a good leave-in, and that's all that coat needs. I've noticed, since I've been using this method, I've noticed a significant change in my dog's coats that I groom regularly. There were 2 Shih Tzus in particular that were always having skin issues that have completely cleared up since I've been doing it this way. And when I started, I didn't condition everything, I did not condition anything because every class I took was like, don't use conditioner. I thought that dogs' coats and skin and all of that was like completely different than humans because everybody's like, oh, don't use conditioner. I sat through a ton of classes that were like the anti-conditioner, and then one day I took a class by David Campanella, and he works with Best Shot, and he knows his science. And when I sat in his class and he started talking about the science, I was like, wow, this is like hair school. This reminds me a lot of hair school, and how he was explaining everything worked. It's just how our hair works. So I started doing my research and realized that we are really one and the same. If anything, the grooming industry copies the hair industry. Like, that's a known fact that the grooming industry copies the hair industry. So by me having cosmetology background, it gives me a leg up in the grooming industry, which is fantastic, and that's why I'm here to share it with you guys. So scientifically speaking, conditioners are not the devil, even though a lot of people can convince you they are. I took a class by IPG that said never ever put conditioner on a dog, especially for a deshed. She argued that the conditioner would make it take so much longer, blah blah blah. And I literally took David Campanella's class right after, and he not only like completely, actually somebody in the class asked like, hey, our last class said that you shouldn't condition, and he completely disproved her entire theory. And he explained like why you should be conditioning. And again, that's what made sense to me being from hair school, is that yeah, you should be conditioning. And I think that if we condition properly, we can have dogs with much healthier coats and skin. So don't be afraid of conditioners. And again, if you are super scared of them, a really good place to start is a good moisturizing shampoo. Or a good leave-in, like a light leave-in. And like really use leave-in sparingly. I think that's a lot of times when people have trouble with leave-ins, they're just using way too much. Use a couple spritz. I mean, you know, and you'll be able to tell if it's doing anything. Like if you've spritzed them so lightly you can't even feel it on the coat, then yeah, you need to use more. But it's always good to use a little bit less. Like don't over condition, or then you will have all those problems of like, oh, it takes longer to dry and blah blah blah. I think that when people are having those issues, it's because they've conditioned with the wrong conditioner or they've used too much of it. So conditioners can be your friend. They are your friend, and we should be treating them that way instead of demonizing them. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if a conditioner like killed a groomer once, or like what the true issue is there, but like it seems like groomers have like a real personal problem with conditioners, and I think it's really silly because they really will help you out. So I challenge you to try a good moisturizing shampoo, to try a good leave-in conditioner, and see how it changes things. See how it changes your dog's coats long term, especially if you're an only shampoo person. If you're never using conditioner, I challenge you to try using some conditioner and see how it really can change your results with your grooms. So anyway, I hope that this helps. I know that conditioner, for whatever reason, is so controversial, and every time I talk about conditioner, I get dislikes and angry people, but I use conditioner. I mean, technically, you don't have to. I mean, if you want to, like, ruin your pet's skin and coat by never conditioning, then, like, I'm not stopping you. I'm just telling you, if you were like I am, and, or like I was, and you're just hearing all the time, oh, you should never condition, I'm here to tell you why that's not true. And I'm asking for you to just try it. And if you hate it, like, try it on your own dog, or on a dog that it wouldn't really matter. So if you're like worried, oh, it's going to mess up my whole groom, try it on your own dog. That's what I did. When I first was told, I just realized there's a dead buffalo head behind me this like whole video. Oh, my dogs are outside anyway. But I have like a thick German Shepherd Corgi mix. Like, she's got really thick hair and she needs like a full-on deshed. She was the first one I tried it on. And she was a safe one to do it on because it's really hard to over condition her. Like, you would really have to go out of your way to put too much conditioner on this dog. So I started with her. Just start small. You don't have to like start conditioning every single dog now. But like I said, try a moisturizing shampoo. Try a good leave-in. See what it does for you. And yeah, I hope that this maybe cleared up some misconceptions on conditioners, and that they're really not that bad, and they can be used and actually make your life so much easier. Because like I said, when you are just shampooing and that cuticle is wide open, scientifically speaking, first of all, you're more likely to damage that cuticle when it's sitting like this and you're blow drying. You're more likely to actually accidentally break it off than you would be if you use conditioner and smooth it down. So you're going to cause less damage to the hair. It's going to dry faster. You know, there's just so many perks. So I challenge you, try it out. Don't act like conditioner is evil, because it's not. And yeah, that's really it. All right. I love you guys. I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.